Kevin Neish is a social justice and peace activist based in Victoria, BC. He works with the Coalition Against Israeli Apartheid in Victoria. He's a retired engineer and has participated in numerous solidarity campaigns in Canada, Latin America, and Palestine.
My name is Kevin Neish, and according to the National Post, I'm a Chardonnay socialist. So I guess you're a jihadist, are you, Farooq? Yeah, okay, fine, Daddy. I'm from Victoria, BC. I've been an activist all my life since the Vietnam War, and for those who don't remember, that's in the 1960s. I was a human shield in Guatemala for Rigoberta Menchú. I was a human rights observer, election observer in El Salvador, 2000, 2009. I was a human shield in 2002 with the International Solidarity Movement in Bethlehem, exactly a year before Richard Corey was murdered. 2009, I was a human rights observer in Colombia. I was visiting political prisoners in Colombia, and I was actually, spring of this year, I was in Colombia visiting political prisoners there. The point of all this is, and I've done lots of work in for South Africa, Ireland, Philippines, Chile, all over the world. It's, you name it, there's no things up. I'm not bragging. It's my mom's fault. She started me on this route. But the point is that the nut-bar Zionists are saying that I'm anti-Semitic, that I only hate Israel. I mean, I can prove it. I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm anti-political Zionism. I'm an anti-racist, and that's why I'm against these things. So really covered a lot of what I needed to talk about. But I'll go into the flotilla. I was part of the Free Gaza Flotilla. That's the original flotilla, well, the original challengers of the blockades. In 2008, Free Gaza has been sending single ships and large fishing boats to try and get in. I think they've tried 7 times. George Galloway got in on one of the ships early. I think he got 4 ships in, and then the last 3, one was rammed and almost sunk, and eventually did sink, but luckily it got back to Cyprus, and 2 of them were boarded by the Israelis and towed into Ashdod, and the boats have never been seen again, nor was the aid, and so that's how Free Gaza was treated. So this is the I think it was the 8th, but this time many groups joined. It's building, and it's going to get bigger. This time there was many movements. There was going to be 8 ships. I was on one of the Free Gaza ships. It was an American flag ship, actually both of them, Challenger 1, Challenger 2, about a 70-foot, each of them older 2-deck yacht, not very big. And we sailed out of Crete, and the Israelis have bragged that they sabotaged our ship, sabotaged both of our ships, as well as the Rachel Corrie, which was sailing out of Ireland. All 3 ships were damaged. We lost our steering, and nobody's talked about this, but they came close to killing us because they bragged about sabotaging our ship. We lost our steering in the middle of somewhat of a storm between Crete and Cyprus. We were beaten up so bad, you can imagine trying to maneuver without proper steering. We were beaten up so bad we split seams in our hull and started to take on water, and we weren't going to Gaza. After the storm abated, we got to the rendezvous point, and the captain said, "We're taking on water. We're not going to sink now, but we're not going to go to Gaza." And so we thought things were finished. But it's like the cavalry over the horizon came, the Mavi with Farooq and 680 other Turkish activists, and they asked the Mavi if they would take us on. Our ship had about 11 activists, no cargo, other than small donations, but it was, our ship had Colonel Ann Wright from the United States Army, the retired colonel that was barred from coming to Toronto. We had 3 German MPs, a Green MP from Norway, I believe, a German doctor. We had a fellow from a Palestinian whose mother was dying in Gaza, and he was desperate to get there, and he was joining the flotilla to get to Gaza and see his dying mother. His mother died the day before the attack. But anyways, so yeah, we got to check my notes, keep me on track here. I'll be very quick. Yeah, we lost our steering, take on water. So we transferred to the Mavi Marvel, and that's an interesting point in this thing. This huge ship pulled up to our little yacht. the side door opened up, and it was calm water, so we just jumped on board. And they immediately frisked me, took my baggage off to one side, and they frisked me top to bottom thoroughly, and quarantined me. And every person came on board got the same treatment. All the activists that came on board, we all got patted down, put into a quarantine on deck 1, and waited while they went through our bags with a fine-tooth comb. Me being a mechanic, I had a pocket knife in my bag, and it wasn't there when I got my bag back. I guess it was pulled out and pitched over the side. The film crew with us from Australia, they had some booze in their bag. Booze was taken out over the side. They didn't want weapons on that ship, and no booze. You know, it was Muslims, but they were thorough. They were thorough about no weapons on the ship. And after they searched us and quarantined us for a while on deck 1, which was where some of the aid was stored in big pallets, as well as the women. The women could go anywhere, but the first deck was for women alone if they wanted to be on the road. I think there was 50 to 100 women on board. But the women rolled through the ship. Many journalists, which I thought was wonderful. Women journalists from Arab nations and Turkey. And anyways, I'm probably rambling. I'll get back on topic here. Quarantine, baggage, pocket knife. So my job was, the reason I was on the flotilla was to break the blockade. We got to break the blockade. I don't care if they'll give us roses and dance in the streets to let us go to Ashdod to take it to Gaza. We're not going to Egypt or Israel, we're going to Gaza. That was my job was a human rights observer. When I got to Gaza, I was going to be working with the International Solidarity Movement, ISM, and basically doing exactly what Rachel Corrie was doing before she was murdered. I was going to be working on the wells and sewer system in Rafah, patrolling the border between Egypt and Rafah to stand and be witnessed and be a human shield between the Israelis and the Palestinian people. So on the ship, I had no chores to do then. On the Challenger 2, I was to slow down the Israelis to allow the film crew, Australian film crew, to upload to satellite their film footage. So my job was to stand in the very narrow passageway and be a rugby player like my good old school days, and just stand there and non-violently stop these folks. And but that job was finished, and I was just basically I was free to do anything on the Mavi Marmara. I could go anywhere, not anywhere. The top deck was secure, obviously the bridge and the communication center on the top deck. Otherwise, I could go anywhere, speak to anyone. I broke bread and had tea with many, many wonderful people. So some of them are dead now. So what did I see? Like I say, I had a day to cruise around and observe and break bread. And basically, I saw a bunch of some women. I saw the 89-year-old patriarch of the Church of Jerusalem. It took 2 men to help him move around the deck. And he was on an arrest list in Israel. They wanted him, this ancient, doddering old man. And he was on board, and there was an 11-month-old child of the chief engineer, and his wife was on board. Again, many women, a lot of retired old men like me. Pot-bellied, not like me, I guess, but you can see, if you go to culturesofresistance.com, I believe, Yara, that's I-A-R-A, she's a Brazilian filmmaker. She smuggled out 1 hour of video, and it's got me in it, 44-minute mark, you'll see me. She smuggled it, somehow she got it out, and it's wonderful because it shows a half hour before the attack, and then a half hour of the attack. So you'll get a real, it's rough footage, so you'll get a real live idea of who was on that ship. And you don't take my word for it, look at the video. You know, Google Mavi Marmara, go to freegaza.org, anything will lead you back to that film, and you'll see who was on that ship.